talking about the famous game, the new game that just popped out of the blue, Palworld, and why so many people hate it. A lot of people hate it because they want to say it's an off-brand Pokemon or it's a direct copy of Pokemon. There's I feel that people are blowing that out of the water just because there's another game that you can catch creatures in. You don't just have to automatically assume that it's a copy of a famous game. Like, you can't just claim capsule monsters as your own thing. Because guess what? Pokemon was not the first monster catching video game. I can't remember what the very first one was, but it was about catching demons or something like that. I can't remember because it came out way before I was born. Um, but the game Palworld is fantastic. I've seen videos on it. I've read about it, and the fact that people are so butthurt about a game that you can catch creatures and you can make them farm for you, make them mine, make them build things, make them chop wood for you. People are so butthurt about the fact that you can force your pals to do all of this. Excuse me, I'm a little sick, sorry. But then they're also complaining about the fact that there's guns and weapons in it, which is a little stupid to me because Power World to me it seems as a mixture of all these different video games. Like for example, Minecraft, the with the mining and the resource gathering part of it, the way the technology tree is set up, like it is Ark Survival Evolved. Um, what else? The fact that there's stamina, like it's The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and that there's rideable creatures. I think that this game is fantastic, and I think that people are really, and I mean really upset about the fact that it is so close to being exactly like Pokemon, but it's just not. It's completely different and it's more open than Pokemon. And what's even funnier is that I read something that's like the animal rescue like company PETA or whatever the hell it's called h- dislikes the game. They dislike Power World because of the fact that you could pretty much enslave the creatures and that you can murder them if they don't work hard enough and that you could sell them. But guess what? You want to bring up all these claims, but you won't back it up with the fact that you could do all this in Pokemon. I mean, for example, there's Pokemon games where you can go up to a random stranger and you can buy a Pokemon, right? You could also sell your Pokemon. You could trade them away. Excuse me, which is like, oh, so it's okay to buy a Pokemon, but it's not okay to buy or sell Palmons or Pals is what they're called. So it's perfectly okay that you can buy, sell, trade, and do all this stuff in Pokemon. But the second that game that's close to Pokemon, and the reason why I keep saying it's close to Pokemon is because it's very close, but it's better. It's more adult like, it's more engaging, it's more fun to me personally. I feel that Pokemon The past few games have been extremely, and I mean extremely garbage. And this game just outdoes itself. It does better than the newest Pokemon installments. I mean, I've played Pokemon on a DS, a 3DS, um, Nintendo Switch. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch, they just suck. They don't take their time with making the games. It's like Electric Arts when they create Need for Speed games. They suck because they don't take their time and they also abandon them. But the thing is with Pokemon, they don't abandon that game. They try to drag that game out. A couple weeks ago, I wanted to restart my Pokemon Violet. Start from clean, start from fresh, right? They haven't fixed the laggy students in the um in the school at all. They haven't fixed that. They haven't done anything to it. And then you take a look at Palworld, and guess what? They're doing updates. They have over 1 million concurrent players all the time. And I get it. It's a new game. It's a brand new game. But guess what? You take a look at the amount of people watching Palworld compared to a Pokemon stream on Twitch, the number is significantly different, and there's a lot more people watching Palworld and playing Palworld because Palworld is more enjoying and just better overall. And people butthurt that there's pals that look very close and similar to other creatures that are in Pokemon. Like, and they're trying to like point out the difference. They're like, "Oh, this one looks like this. Oh, this one has Thunderbolt. Oh, sorry. Um, but like, oh, for example, Grizzbolt. I'll put a picture up on the screen next to an Electabuzz, which people are comparing the two. It is yes, they're both electric types. One's in Power World and one's in Pokemon. But electric types, what does electricity mean in logos? Electricity means a thunderbolt, right? Uh, and guess what? There's a thunderbolt on Electabuzz. There's a thunderbolt on Grizzbolt. Guess what? Oh my gosh. Power World's copying Pokemon because a Thunderbolt is totally original and is totally owned by Pokemon Company. Yeah, no, it's not. And you want to say that it's very close to what Pokemon looks like? Okay, whatever. Games all look the same. You're telling me that um like that if I make a multiplayer shooter game that's a battle royale and it looks cartoonish, are you going to say that's a direct copy of Fortnite? Maybe if it's got building mechanics in it, but it doesn't. But so it's not. Yes, it has catching mechanics, but guess what? There's thousands of video games with catching mechanics where you catch creatures and make them your allies, your companions, your friends, and Palworld just does it better than how Pokemon's doing it, without a doubt. Um, I mean, seriously, even Skylanders had like a kind of catching aspect in Skylanders Trap Team, where you would use traps and you would capture the bad guys that you beat, like the big bosses that you would beat. You would use these plastic or rubber, I don't even know what they were, and you would put them into this little slot on the portal, and guess what? You would capture them. it it's like if some other company did that, what is Activision gonna sue them? Hey, no, that's my idea. You can't do that. No, they can't. You wanna know why? Because it's a universal, like it's just universal. Capturing cap that is not a word. Capture monsters is a universal idea. It's a universal game mechanic. I mean, that's like creating a game and claiming that you own shooting so that no one else can make shooting. It's stupid. And there was like there's so many people butthurt on Twitter about it, saying that it's a direct copy of Pokemon. And I watched a couple of bias videos. Clearly, they were biased. And then I watched a couple non-biased videos, and they all had pretty good claims. But all of them say that you should try it for yourself, which you should, but I'm not going to try it yet until I figure out if it's just the short span of attention that people have and they only play it for 1 week, or if this game is still famous and still popular a month to 3 months down the line. Hogwarts Legacy, one of the biggest games, lost 97% of its player base in less than 5 months. You wanna know why? Because the game is boring. They didn't update it enough, for one. For two, once you finish the story, there's what's there to do once you finish the story? A bunch of stupid side quests? No one wants to do side quests at all. I find myself ignoring side quests in a video game. That's why I complete video games like God of War or Spider-Man really quickly, because I just ignore the side quests and I just go for the story because I don't enjoy doing side quests. I am going to try Palworld in a couple of months because I want to know if they update their game regularly, for one, and for two, I would like to see if the game is still as popular as it is this week, because this week has been big for Palworld. Over 7 million downloads, which, guess what? That's a big number. 7 million. That's imagine 7 million people in one room. That's how many people have downloaded Palworld. How many people buy a Pokemon game and actually play through it and get extremely far on their first day compared to Palworld? I went onto Twitch and I went into a couple people's streams and I saw that they were already level like 30, level 20s, level like uh, they already had pals. They already used glitches and bugs to get the raid syndicate tower bosses like Zoe and Grisbold. I already saw that on the TikTok, which was crazy. But I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I'll give an updated video in the future based on what I've learned and what I've read and what I've watched. Peace out, y'all.